Welcome back.
Welcome this morning, evening, night. What time is it?
Whoever you at in the world, man, welcome. Because we global. Nah, man, welcome back out of the city,
we got about 2 people that watch us in Mexico.
Hey, man, we got one in Poland, too.
¿Qué pasó, amigos? Esta Hat to the City. I am Senor Nobody. We got a special guest tonight, though. I got my man Backwood Breezy.
For sure.
We got a special guest co-host, Miss Tawanda D.D. Johnson.
Okay.
Very strong lady right here, doing her second bout with breast cancer. So we just gonna bring a little awareness to what's going on with our women. She knows firsthand, the situation. We want to welcome her tonight. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate her coming on. I look to her as a sister of mine. I need some background music though, Jacob. Yeah. I hate to hear myself think.
Miss DD.
Yes, I'm very retarded.
Well, it's an honor and pleasure to have you up here tonight. For those of you that don't know you, of course, because I know you, let them know who you are and what's the plan, what you got going on.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me here tonight. And like Ed said, this is my second bout with breast cancer. I was first diagnosed with breast cancer in 2003. And I just found out in 2017 that it was back. And so, being a breast cancer survivor for 14 years, you kind of think that, you beat the battle, and so it was truly a shocker for me that the breast cancer had returned again. But the good thing in it is that, they did catch it early. And one of the reasons why they caught it early is because I do my mammograms on a regular basis. And so that's one of the points that I really wanted to talk about tonight with the women and men, because breast cancer does affect both women and men, but it especially affects African American women. And so, it's just very, very important that we do our mammograms, that we follow up with any kind of inconsistencies that's going on with our bodies, because the sooner you catch it, then the greater your chances of survival are, and it's been rough this time around. It's been a little different. Like I said, I'm 14 years older, so things in my body have changed, and, it's been a little rough, but, God is in control of my health and my strength. And, that's where I get my faith from, and I got a lot to live for. So I'm looking forward to, being around 14 plus 14 plus 14 more
plus
years.
14 plus another 14 plus another 14.
Absolutely.
Right. I know you mentioned something about getting your mammograms done on a regular basis. So, this is not for the older women per se. Young girls need to pay attention as well, because that is the stage where these things can easily develop, and I think young girls put a blind eye to it because they feel like these things only develop, or they may develop in your later age, but that's totally not true. So I think that this goes for all women of all ages, young and old, should get the mammograms checked regularly.
You said something that I kind of found interesting. You said that is extremely prevalent in African American women. So is the ratio higher in the black community as opposed to any other ethnic group, or
it is?
And why is that? Or why do you think that's
I think one of the main reasons is that because we don't go, and we don't, keep on top of, I'm not saying, everybody, but a lot of us don't go. I had a girlfriend who, 3 years ago, they found a lump, and she didn't go back to find out, whether it was cancerous or not, because she was afraid, to find out if it was cancerous. Thank God that when she did go back this time, that it was not cancer. I had another friend who knew she had cancer for about 4 years and didn't do anything about it. She just, not in denial, but she just decided to just continue to live her life, and then 4 years later she went through, the whole nine of having surgery and chemo and all of that. I'm presently going through chemo right now, and, chemo is not easy. It does a lot of things to your body, and good and bad. So that's why, some people, they don't want to go through that. They don't want to put their bodies through that. They told me that, if I did do the chemo, it's a 10% chance that it won't come back. If I didn't do it, then it's a 30% chance that it would come back. So, you look and you saying, dang, am I, should I or shouldn't I? But, like I said, I have a lot to live for, and so I'm not going to miss out on any opportunities. If they say the chemo's going to help me, then I'm going with it, But I think that a lot of things, in the foods that we eat, I think that with our just health and wellness period, taking care of our bodies as far as exercising, keeping our weight down, all those are, factors in getting breast cancer for women.
Let's take it back to '05. Well, we met, I think we've known each other since at least 2004. '05, we really connected, and I think at that time when you was battling your cancer, my father was dying of cancer, and I remember you explained to me how rough it was for you that first time. Like, just take us into like where your mindset was when you first got diagnosed, because the second time around it's like, okay, I know what it is, I know what I'm up against, but what was your feeling that first time? Like, just take us through that, and how did you cope at that point in time in your life?
But the first time around, I think, you're right. I was totally shocked because, like I said, I'm a thick black woman, but I take care of myself. Like, I watch what I eat, I exercise, I do all the things that they tell you to do so that you won't get sick. So when I went to the doctor, and I was doing, I had not done a mammogram. I was 41 when I first got diagnosed. And so normally they say that we should start our mammograms at 40 years old.
41.
I was 41 and they considered that young to be diagnosed with breast cancer. But I did find my own lump, and I found it by doing, breast exams, in the shower. I did follow that procedure, and when I went in and they saw the lump in the X-ray, and then the next thing I knew, they were taking me in to do a biopsy. And the next thing I knew, I was looked up and I was sitting in an oncologist's office. Like, it just went like that, like bang, bang, bang. So I was just really in shock, But again, my faith kicked in. And I know and I believe that God won't give me more than I can handle, And my prayer at that time, at 41 years old, was that He would provide for my family. Like, if something was to happen to me, I needed to know that my family would be okay. I had 2 daughters at that time that were in elementary school, and I prayed and I asked God, I said, please just let me live long enough so that they can be able to take care of themselves. And so today, they're 23 and 25 years old. So He did exactly what I asked Him to do.
That's a blessing.
So I'm sure that, so then now my prayer is, I have a 2-year-old grandson, so I'm like, God, please let me live long enough so I can see my grandson, grow up. So yeah, he's taking care of me. But to go back to your thing, it was a total shock. It was a total shock. And this time around, the first time around, they just removed the lump from my breast, and then I had to go through like 6 months of chemo, radiation. This time around, it came back in the same breast, and they had to remove my breast. So that was, this time around was actually, bigger to me than the last time around. But to remove my breasts and save my life, like, it was really no question. Like, you could take both of them, if it means that I'm going to be around, So I'm dealing with that, and, I have a strong support system, so I'm good.
Now, I was just about to ask that about support. You're having a strong support system, and how does that, I mean, it's kind of a rhetorical question, but for those that need that, like, and I know you're instrumental in support groups for women that's battling breast cancer. Like, take us into that, because I know you do a lot of work outside of,
Yeah, like, I've been doing a walk for breast cancer for probably about 30 years. I was walking for the cure way before I was diagnosed. I've always had a heart for women and for health and for, the sisterhood. I'm heavily involved in my church, and I just have a passion for seeing women, take care of themselves, live long lives, have beautiful marriages. That's like my whole thing. Just, I'm a federal employee, but I really, my passion is the health and fitness. Like, I really want to be out there as a spokesperson, talking to not just African American women, but to all women about just how important it is that we take care of ourselves, that we have to make ourselves number one. And that's hard. That's hard when you have a family and you work and all of that. But, this time around, I promised me, myself, God, and everybody else that I was going to put Dee Dee first this time, no matter what, Cause I'm
give it up for Dee Dee for putting herself first, y'all. Give it up, y'all. That's big. That's real big.
Yeah.
That's real big. But this time, you know what? I was worried about you because, like, we done had, several conversations over the years about, your struggles. Mm-hmm. And I know, like, you said at one point that you was kind of like depressed, like you felt yourself slipping into depression, which I'm quite sure is common amongst women. You know what I'm saying? So what's your words of encouragement to other women, like, saying to stay strong? Because I mean, I know if I was to go and get diagnosed for cancer, or no, let me reiterate that. I watched my father battle lung cancer. Mm-hmm. Two different type of cancers, but cancer's cancer. And I seen him lose his will to live. Mm-hmm. And I think that might have ultimately killed him faster than the cancer did. So, like, what's your words of encouragement to women that get diagnosed and feel like, the world is over, life is over?
I guess, my thing is that, like I said, this time around, I refuse to just give into, those feelings. I just decided that I'm going to keep it moving no matter what. Like, on my good days, I'm good and I'm going and I'm doing. And, people see me and they be like, you don't even look like you have breast cancer, or you don't look like you sick or whatever, But I just decided that I'm going to live no matter what until that day comes where, I'm going to be leaving here. But, I just say keep the faith, and you just mentally, I pray a lot, and I, like I said, I have that strong support system, and I wouldn't be able to make it without the people who support me, it's just so important, to have surround yourself around positive people, and every day is not good, like, Ed, you remember when I came to you when I first lost my hair, and I was just like, what am I going to do? Like, I never imagined that I could walk around with a bald head, and I'm never been caught up on hair, but I've always liked to keep my hair looking okay. So when I had to go completely bald, like, this is completely bald, but you cut me down enough where I still had a little bit.
I had a with a full shape up, like looking real good.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
It was
and I remember you telling me that, when I came to your chair with tears in my eyes, you said, when you leave here, you still going to be a female. I'm gonna let you leave out of here with all your femininity, and you did, and that helped me so much. Like I said, I would never imagine that I would be able to walk the streets now with no hair on my head, just because I just didn't think I looked good enough to be walking around with a bald head. Everybody can't wear a bald head, and I still look in the mirror sometimes and be like, "Ooh, is that me?" So yeah.
I think that's really important because as you pointed out, you say it was times you felt depression and things like that. I think a lot of the times when women are going through like some of the things you passed through, they develop a sense of low self-esteem because they lose their hair, so they feel that everything else as far as their personal appearance is downhill. But that's not true.
Yeah.
Because like you and probably many others, you guys sure rock the short hair the best that I've ever seen. And I've seen plenty of times go through the shop. So it's like, for the women that are going through that, I hope you hear what she said. Like, you don't lose your
femininity.
Femininity. Whatever. Mm-hmm. You don't lose that word right there.
Hey, that's an SAT word.
You don't lose that word right there, ladies. So just keep your head up, man, because you're still beautiful. Yeah. Like, you are still beautiful. Me personally, I like girls with short hair. So that's just me personally.
But I got a question. Like, you don't think 40 might be a little too late to be getting mammograms? You don't think that?
I think now it is too. I think that people, that women should start
25, 30.
I'm telling you, when I first got diagnosed, that 40 was the starting age. Like, because I am a breast cancer person, my daughters have started getting mammograms now. And they're, like I said, they're 23 and 25. All of my father and all of his brothers died of some kind of cancer. So I was more worried about my brothers getting cancer than me, ending up with breast cancer. So I didn't really worry about, when my father passed, I was 27. I wasn't really worried about, getting a mammogram then. But now I think,
should it be recommended?
Absolutely.
For women earlier?
Absolutely. I wouldn't, especially if you have cancer in your family, any form of cancer. It does not have to be breast cancer, but I would definitely, start it before 40.
Shout out to my man Mike Tucker. Mike, my man, said there's going to be a breast cancer awareness day for DPR. It's a walk and a play date starting at Bald Eagle Rec Center. Food, activities, workshop, and so much more. What did he say? DPR events. Here's the website. So he's gonna post the website for us, just for those that want to know it and feel strong about want to partake and help try to end this cure. Now, with this whole battle over Obamacare, and they want to slash budgets and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Cut subsidies, shit that people need. Do you think?
I told you my church family on here.
Excuse me, church family, for my profane mouth. I only say shit though. I normally say.
I told you my church family.
I normally say words.
I already see Sean. Hey Sean. Karen.
I normally say words.
Sean
and Karen, we so sorry. But
Sean and Karen, we sorry.
But I'm a work in progress. I'll just let you know. But do you think that with this debate over health care that cancer research will be one of the areas that's hardest hit?
It's scary. It's scary because I work at NIH, who they do a lot of research.
Shout out to NIH.
They do a lot of research.
Stand for niggas in here.
Don't do that.
Nah, tell us.
Too much.
Go ahead.
NIH has taken care of me for the last 32 years.
Absolutely.
So yes, shout out to the National Institutes of Health.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, since we've gotten the new president and he NIH is one of the agencies that he has targeted to, cut a lot of funding. So, yeah, we definitely in trouble with that.
Shame on you, Trump.
Yep, we definitely in trouble with that one.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Man, that's crazy.
Hey, Moni
how
Love.
that directly affects like things of this nature, man. See, we had to be careful who we vote for, and we have to be even more careful this time around, y'all, because things like that do trickle down in our community and affects these type of situations.
Absolutely.
Well, look here, we're gonna take a small chronic break, and we're gonna get back. We're gonna ask about medication when we return.
Yeah, real talk.
Real talk, hey man. You know what I'm saying? Heart of the city. We are sorry, but we ain't sorry. We are a marijuana friendly show.
Oh my
you know what I'm
Lord.
saying? So we'll be back in a few minutes to talk about, saving the titties. We be back, Heart of the City.
We need the tatas.
We need the tatas.
Produced by coolhine.com. KUHINE.com.
back. We are back on Heart of the City Radio with our special guest co-host tonight, Miss Tawana Didi, because our other set of Tatas couldn't make it tonight, Miss Trashy Vash.
Shout out to Trashy.
Shout out. Well, we was talking about breast cancer, you know,
And
breast
the
cancer
awareness.
research. You know, it's a problem that you know, this is October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yep.
We felt like, you know, we wanted to bring you in and have you shed a little light and, you know, be an inspiration to a lot of women, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, since you've been going through this bout, and I try to call you and check on you periodically.
You do.
Like, you haven't missed a beat. Like, you haven't missed a beat throughout all that you're going through. So, you know what I'm saying? I figured, like, you know, why not bring you through and let you motivate some other people that, you know, feel like it's the end of the world, and your case might be just a little more extreme than theirs. So,
Hey, can I say something though?
go ahead.
Personally, you know, I've seen you. I know you too as well. I've seen you for years, and I just want to say that your spirit is so uplifting to the fact that I didn't know that you were going through any of this until tonight.
Really?
Won't he do it though?
Yeah.
That's
that?
crazy.
Yeah. And I told her
good.
one day, excuse my vulgarity. I told
Remember
her,
that my church family.
I said, you might have lost your hair, but she ain't
Don't-
lose no
don't-
hind
don't-
parts.
See, I knew you was
Yes,
going
it-
there.
She
I
has
knew
not lost an ounce of hind parts, y'all. Give it up for Dee Dee. Man, oh man, look, she got a wagon, y'all. Give it up for her.
Oh my
Yes, indeed.
goodness.
Yes, indeed. Y'all give it up for her.
Let me just give a shout out to my husband.
Yes,
Shout,
indeed.
that's my guy.
Big
too.
brother
Eddie
Ed, yes, indeed.
Johnson.
Eddie
Shout out to
yes,
Mr.
indeed.
Johnson. That's my man. Salute.
We
man.
will be celebrating
He's the
30
big
years
homie.
in December. So you
Man,
know,
give it up for them.
we've been
Give it up for
him.
yeah,
Give it up
we've
for
been
him,
through
man.
a
That's all
lot.
right,
And
30
he's
years.
been right there with me. So I love you, baby,
Straight
Yeah.
like that.
Make sure you cook that man a hearty meal.
all the
Very
time,
much so.
all the time.
Now we before we left, we was talking about, you know what I'm saying, that you work for NIH. Shout out. And that, you know, that's one of the leading research institutions in the United States.
Yep.
And is subject to budget cuts, especially in the Department of Cancer Research. And we also wanted to talk about like different forms of medication. So let me ask you, I'm gonna just be blunt.
Go ahead.
See, be
He's such a
blunt.
comedian. He's such a comedian.
Do you think marijuana is more beneficial or to cancer patients or not?
I really can't say because NIH has not really done any studies on whether, the marijuana is beneficial to cancer patients. I know that at one point when I was doing chemo and I was going through a lot of nausea, my doctor, the oncologist, gave me marijuana pills to take to, combat the nausea, but he never told me to smoke a blunt, so
Of course not. They're not going to. What doctor would say something heinous as that? Go smoke a blunt. Yeah. But if you ever find one, let me know because I will. But how did that help? How did the pills help?
The nausea with the marijuana pills, it did. I mean, I did kind of feel like I had the munchies, but I wasn't sure if it was, mental or not. Like, how you do something, you be like, well, I'm supposed to have the munchies. So I think I just started eating just because, the munchies were supposed to come along with, marijuana.
I think that was the natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been.
I'm not really sure. Hey, C-Love.
They should do a study on that though.
But the medications that they had you on like a lot of medications, and if so, what were like some of those that you were on?
So
did they help? That's what we trying to figure out.
So 14 years later, the medication is 100% better than it was. The first time around, the medication really did not help. And my biggest complaint is nausea. The chemo makes you so nauseated that I can't even express how sick I was with just the nausea. But this time around, the medication that they're giving me, which is a lot of steroids, which has caused, different side effects, but it's helped. It's helped a lot. So yeah, the medication definitely has helped me make it through this.
Does breast cancer have a level of physical pain?
Not really. Some people complain of like bone ache. I think would probably be the worst physical pain that I had. But like I said, it's the nausea. I don't know. It's just that's worse than anything that I can imagine. For you to go through where you feel sick, but you can't do anything about it. Like you can't bring it up. You can't, you just got to go through the process. And like I said, this time around, the medication has definitely, because before I would be out for about a week after I do chemo. This time, I'm usually out that first day, and then the second day I'm moving around, and third day I'm moving more. And so, yeah.
Now you said something in the beginning, right? About something that that kind of like goes unmentioned, which is men can develop breast cancer too. And I know for sure the actor Richard Roundtree, who played Shaft, was a male breast cancer survivor. Take us into that and educate us a little more on that though. And like it's no like we supposed to go get prostate check. But as a man, are we supposed to determine like, hey man, I got a lump right here underneath my nipple, like what is it for us to detect if and what's the risk of a man that being diagnosed with breast cancer?
I don't know, to be really honest with you.
Oh shit, that means we're in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know, but I promise you the next time you have me here, I will do some research and I'll be able to,
I think because probably, sorry not to cut you off, but I think probably because those percentage numbers are like so low to the ground. So it not to say that there's no research on that, but there's not extensive research on that because it's very rare cases of that. But it can happen. I just feel like for men, it's more so like you say at the prostate area.
Right. I
don't know.
And it probably has something to do with like a estrogen or type thing or whatever. And like that thing, it can only. I don't know. I ain't no doctor. Don't get me started.
I'm not gonna say that it's really low. I just think that we don't talk about the men as much as we talk about the women, and just because you said that tonight, it will make me go home and, really research it and find out because, I mean, it's men all around me too. And I'd like to be able to tell them,
men rub your own titties, man. Make it rub.
Hey, Obi.
Rub your titties in the morning, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Just to make, I mean, shit, we can't go get mammograms.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's real though. I mean, but
shout out to my New Samaritan Baptist Church family.
Shout out to New Samaritan
Baptist Church for tuning in.
Who the pastor up there?
My pastor is Michael V. Kelsey Sr.
Okay, shout out to Pastor Michael V.
Where's your church located?
My church is located on 1100 Florida Avenue Northeast, and I have been a member there for 40 years.
Yes,
so yeah, we're solid.
Let me
we're
find
solid.
out your church right in the trap.
Yeah,
right
yes, it is. We're right in the hood, and we welcome everybody there.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. The holy trap. That's what we talking about. Give it up, y'all.
That's right. We get it in on Sunday.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Now, I'm quite sure you done had like just an overwhelming support from your church community. I
have. Yep, I really, really have. It's been very important. When you get a phone call in the middle of the day or, at night, just somebody just that knows or is just thinking about you and wanting to know if they can do anything for you. Those kind of things are so important, and to have people just to call you up and just pray for you, and let you know that they're thinking about you. That has been very instrumental in my recovery from the surgery and all of that.
Okay, and are you scheduled for any more surgery?
I am. I still have to have one more surgery after I finish the chemo, and I still have a lot of chemo to go, but it's getting better. It's getting easier. I'm getting down to the last of the hardest cycle of the chemo, and prayerfully the next about 12 cycles that I have to go will be better.
12 cycles.
Yeah, but I'm strong. I'm gonna make it.
Do you have to do radiation?
Absolutely.
Do you have to undergo radiation?
This time. No radiation.
All right, so that's cool. That's cool. But 12 sessions of chemo, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you strong. no bullshit. I probably would have tapped out after the third one. Like, nah,
I'm telling you, but it's gonna be a party when it's over. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a party.
For sure.
For sure. Listen, we damn near almost out of time. But I want to give a few shout outs. Everybody give a few shout outs.
Yes.
Shout out. Go ahead, Didi. Since you the
mainly, I'm already telling you, I'm shouting out to my church family, to my girls, Dominique and Simone, my grandson Amir, my sister-in-law Jay, my mama. My mom's 92 years old and she's still rocking. So
Hey man,
to my
by
mom,
the way, shout out to
Yes.
her mother,
That's my
92
dude,
Yes.
and fully functioning.
yes, goes to church
Yeah,
every Sunday
fully
in her dress
functioning.
and her hat and her
Shout out
pocketbook,
to
and so
my
yeah, she's
dude.
good.
So yeah, that's all right. Bree, you got
Yes.
anybody you want?
Man, shout outs on my Africans, man. My real Africans, man.
Shout out to his African family that is in Nigeria and Liberia. This man is from Liberia.
Yeah, man. Shout
Yeah.
outs on my real Africans.
Shout out to my man Breezy for beating a travel ban. Hey, I want to shout out my favorite white boy, Mr. Jacob Moss, right here, our super producer. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Heart of City Radio. Our special breast cancer edition. Hashtag Say the Titties, because titties are important. They are the fabric of our
Save the
lives.
tatas,
Say
y'all.
the titties, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to Heart of City Radio. Miss Vash, she'll be back next week. And,
Yeah.
and we disappointed with her because she got all the time.
All the
Oh,
tatas,
my
and
God.
she ain't make the show especially
shit.
for the tatas.
Right.
Like, it don't even make sense.
We got a show about titties, and Miss Titties ain't here, man.
You dig?
I am so disappointed, but it is what it is. Until next week, y'all. We'll see y'all again. Thank y'all. We out.
Peace and love,
Bye.
y'all.